This is the Inside Scoop with Alex and Jess.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. What's up, man? How are you doing, buddy?
I'm having a great time, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
And I hope you guys at home are having a great time, too. Hopefully you guys are popping in and popping on, and we're going to have some fun today. So
Popping, or at least popping something.
Popping something.
So, weekend, I'm going to jump right into this.
I lost you again, so make sure. I don't know. It's something with your mic, so.
Oh, well, maybe it's something funny here. We'll figure it out. All right. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. We're good. Okay. So, no, I had a great weekend. I'm going to start it out right away. Shout out to my buddy Justin and his new wife, Katie. They
Awesome.
just got married over the weekend. I'm going to tell you this. Wow, this was a fantastic wedding. Dude, weddings, like real weddings over COVID.
Hey.
Yeah. That's hard. That's hard to do, man. Because I tell you, it's not like hard, like, because after a while, I'm going to tell you, nobody cared. Right? If you're going to this wedding,
right,
you don't care.
Right.
It's not like you don't care about what's happening. Like, you just accept, like, whatever.
Correct.
I'm not going to do the mask, no mask thing. Although I will say, the venue tried their hardest to say, this is the stupidest thing in the world. You got to wear a mask. If you're not sitting, if you're sitting down at your table, don't have to wear a mask. Okay, fine. But if you stand up to give a speech in a public microphone, you don't have to wear a mask.
All right.
Yeah, because whatever. But then, if you're now listen to this one. Everybody was like, all right, fine, we'll do your thing. We'll do whatever. But if you're dancing, you got to wear a mask.
Right. I figured that. I know.
Yeah, so we were like, yeah, forget that. We're not paying attention to you. So congratulations, Justin and Katie. But you know what it got me thinking about? Remember when I told you a while back?
About a month ago, I think.
How karate tournaments are like weddings?
Yeah.
Because there's always like something last minute. Listen to this, right? Now, Justin and Katie, listen to this. I give it to them. They live in L.A. They had the wedding in Minnesota because that's where they're both from, right? They've been living in L.A. for 5 years, right? A lot of people came from California, go to the wedding. A lot of people, almost everybody's there from Minnesota because it's where all their friends and family are from. Mm-hmm. So it was a little complicated, but that's not that big a deal. All right. So how it typically works, how it said, it's kind of like karate tournaments. You got your rehearsal. Mm-hmm. You got your rehearsal dinner or a groom's dinner. Then you got your wedding. And then you got your reception, right?
Right.
So they did it a little different. So we had a rehearsal dinner Friday night for Saturday wedding. No rehearsal.
Just a dinner.
No rehearsal. This is a rehearsal dinner. And
All right.
I'm thinking about this, like, am I the only one not getting this here? If you call it a rehearsal dinner, shouldn't we do the rehearsal? Like, if you call it a dinner date, but you never go on a date, you just had dinner.
You had dinner.
Right?
Well,
you just had dinner. Right? It's the same thing. We had a great time. So we get to it. We get to the venue, right? And this is the part. Like I said before, beautiful wedding. Fantastic, right?
Yes.
They say, got to get there at 10 a.m. Got to do pictures. So we get there. Everybody's there, right? And I show up there, suited and booted, ready for it all, right? I ain't going to miss. And I'm a little late. I'm like 10:15, right? And guys are showing up after me wearing white T-shirts and flip-flops and basketball shorts. I'm like, what the heck are you guys doing? I thought I was late. They're like, oh, we're not doing pictures till 1:30. I'm like, what am I doing here then? They're like, oh, they have it catered downstairs. Still annoying. Okay, I go down there. They had one tray of sandwiches for like 30 guys. Like, this is a bunch of hurry up and wait. All right. Great time. Yeah, it was fantastic. But here's one last thing. I'll tell you this. Remember, Jeff, when I was telling you, like, hey, I'm actually trying to see if I can try to be a DJ. I'm trying this. I've been having a lot of fun with this, right?
Yeah, right.
It's hard, right? Shout out real quick, Nick Schneider, all right, of Professional Karate Studios and SportMartialArts.com. Nick Schneider has been my coach
Nice,
DJ.
nice.
And I'm not even kidding you. He has held my hand through the whole process.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So I buddy up with the DJ. I find the DJ and I'm like, all right, I got to have a conversation with this guy Mike, right? So I tell him my thing. And I said, hey, can I watch you? I just want to see what you do and when you make the decisions you make. He says, yeah, sure, come back, no problem. So I'm watching him and I'm like, so you're not even trying to beat match at all? He goes, no, I don't use any of that stuff. And I'm like, so you just push, pause, and then push play on the other one. He goes, yeah, that's all I do.
Wow. All right.
I'm like, that time the heck out. So I go, after I'm here, I'm like, hey, Mike, you want to give me a shot? Can I give it a shot? And he goes, yeah, go for it. So I DJ'd like the last half hour. Yeah.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
It was cool.
Nice,
yeah.
man. That's
I
cool.
was better than you, Mike. I don't even know who you are, but I was better than you.
You're better than.
Yeah, so that was fun.
That sounds fun, man. That sounds fun.
It was a cool time.
For me, I took the weekend to kind of relax a little bit, and kind of just been busy and everything going on. I did get to get some training in, do one of the virtual classes with a couple of my students with Jack Felton. So I took a class with him.
Nice.
I think I'm going to do it again this Saturday. He's doing them every Saturday.
That's right. I saw that online. Yeah.
So it's about, I think, 12 our time. No, wait, I'm sorry. 3 our time. It's 12 his time. Yeah, so 3 p.m. For me. So that would be like 2 your time.
Right.
A lot of fun, good stuff. And, just the way he has it set up, it's good. He's got a good program as far as making it fun, having different challenges each week for the group. Because he has people that have been doing this every weekend with him from all over. So there was literally like a guy from Australia, and it's 5 a.m. There for him. So when it started, so the kid's up, and he's probably 17, 18. The kid's up at probably 4 or something to get up on a Saturday morning to train.
Time out.
So
a 17-year-old up at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yep. Hey, committed. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. So
much respect right there.
Yep. So Australia, England, Canada, Mexico, United States, Hawaii.
Wow.
So all over different areas and different time zones. So it was a lot of fun. So that was great. That was kind of one of the big things I did, and then just got to relax a little bit and chill out and get ready for a busy week. So, but before we get into our next thing, we got some reviews, guys, and
that's right.
We want to share those. So these are reviews that people had posted on Apple Podcasts. So we would love for you guys to get on Apple Podcasts, listen, subscribe to the channel. Even if you watch us here, subscribe to it because it supports us. And also,
absolutely.
A lot of times it's good to listen to it as well. There's always something like, wait a minute, what did they say?
Yeah.
And
just subscribe anyway, because then it helps us. It helps
Yes.
us,
Correct.
like see who's involved and not.
Correct.
And then you will be
Write a
officially
review.
an insider.
That's right. And then if you can write a review, leave a rating, that would be great. So you going first? We have 2 that we haven't done in a while.
What did he say? Hey, you know what? I should have. The DJ did Mike. That was a good one. The DJ wouldn't even take a drink. I should have just like given him some shots and say, yeah, those girls over there said you want to talk to him.
Yeah,
just taking over.
Just done it.
But he was bad. He was so bad. He wouldn't even get on the mic. He wouldn't get on the mic saying anything. He was bad.
He was just playing music.
Whatever. Wasn't even good at it. All right. No, I'll go first.
All right.
So this one is from Ken Dog 1030. I'm not sure Ken Dog is, but I mean, it sounds like a cool name.
Yeah.
He said, wow, the fastest hour ever. We were so into the Alex Reyes interview, we had no clue we were listening for over an hour. That's kind of how we go.
Yeah.
Alex and Jeff are dynamite. My guy.
Hey.
They always have on the best guests with informative content and a piece of history in our sport. Keep up the great work, guys. Yeah,
Love
thanks,
it.
Ken Dog.
Thanks, Ken Dog.
Thanks so much.
All right, this is a long one. This is one from one of our buddies. So, Angel Diaz 11. All right, so thank you,
What
Angel.
up, Angel?
I'm sure he's. I know he was training just a little bit a while ago, so I'm not sure he's going to get on in a little bit to watch with us. So, this show is on my list of shows that I need to listen to on the daily. Alex and Jeff play an important part of my daily routine as I listen to the show when I'm either on my way to work or when I am working out. I often listen to their episode 2 or 3 times because there's just so much important content that is being talked about. Yeah, pretty sweet, huh? Jeff has a laid-back personality, which is needed because Alex has a raw and energized personality. Yeah, pretty much.
I can't hide it.
That's
Man.
right.
It's just
It's
what it is.
It's a good blend. All right, and then we
Yeah.
go. P.S. Alex Demon is a man I know that can make me laugh and get angry at the same time. His point of view on subjects may be strange, but it'll always be interesting. Yes, very true.
You're right.
Oh, God. All right.
Right.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Angel. Thank you. I already forgot the name.
Ken Dog. Ken Dog.
And guys,
Yeah,
go
good
ahead
stuff.
and every week we want to read a new read a new review for you guys. And
tell your friends to get out there. Like even
That's
if they
right.
listen to it for a little bit, tell them to leave a review.
Correct.
I will tell everybody though, real quick before we get into kind of the catching up is the stuff that's been happening.
Yeah.
Jeff and I talk often. I'm going to tell you this. Outside of my wife and kids and my brother, I talk to Jeff Dawson more than I talk to anybody else.
It's true. It's true.
I don't even see my brother's. I don't see my brother's face. I saw my brother over the weekend. Last time I saw my brother's face, I don't even know. What was it? A couple months ago?
Yeah.
I see your face every day.
Wow. Yeah, that's true. Oh man.
So no, we have a lot of guests. So what I was getting at is Jeff and I have a lot of guests lined up. We try to really strategically plan them out.
Yep.
We've got some big ones. We already mentioned who's coming next week.
Yes.
Next week, one of the best competitors in sport karate history is Ross Levine. So Ross Levine, I knew a guy who said straight up, Ross Levine's the greatest fighter of all time.
Right.
And I was like, what? And he broke it down for me as why. And I'm like, you make a good point.
Yeah.
All right. But he's done it all. Ross was on last week.
Right.
When we had Coach Conroy on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'm glad though. That was
that
really
worked
fun.
out good. That was fun. That was a lot.
That
of fun.
was really fun.
That was fun. So
yeah. So we have a lot more lined up.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the show last week and the week before, and we're kind of able to catch up because we had Conroy, and before that it was our anniversary show. So we had different things we talked about. We had several guests on. So this is our first time really just to kind of talk about everything going on. And
Jeff, I haven't had a one-on-one date with you in a while, my friend.
That's right, my friend.
Okay, but let's get into it. We got some stuff.
Yes.
So this virtual fight tour, I hope it never ends. I don't care.
Oh, no, it's great.
If there's twice as many tournaments as before. Jesse, I hope it never ends. Tell me what tell me when I can buy my tickets for 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm ready for it. I don't even care. There's not even a 4 and 5 on there.
Let's get a subscription. Yeah, let's give us a subscription. How can we do that, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm just saying. Maybe jumping the gun a little bit, but I'm sure
who knows?
I'm sure that's in the works.
Virtual Fight Tour 1 was fantastic. Everybody loved it.
Right.
And now it seems like fighters really want to be on it too.
Yes.
Because I was thinking about this. It is a pay-per-view event.
Right.
But they're highlighted.
Correct. Correct.
So they're on there. So it's really kind of like you and I aren't asking anybody.
Right.
All right. If you're being asked to be in something like this, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
It is a set match, right?
Yeah.
But when you have them at a tournament, right, like in your finals, you've been at stuff in tournaments. I pretty much see everything that happens. But there's been a lot of times lately in the last couple of years where I'm saying, I don't even want to go to the finals.
Right.
I'm not going to go. There's one finals in particular. I won't say the name of it, but it took so long.
Yeah.
I won't say the name of it because I really like the promoter. I like the guy. All right. It took so long that there was a mall like a block away. And they had a movie theater in the mall. Kid you not, this happened. Right about the time that the finals is going to start, we went over and watched a movie in the theater.
Yeah.
After the movie was done, we walked back. We're able to see the final fights. Didn't miss any fighting.
Wow.
How is that possible?
How is that possible? Yeah, that's crazy.
But it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've been to that tournament before. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm excited about it. It's great. He also announced that he's going to do virtual forums tour. So interested to see how that's going to work,
interesting.
and if it's going to be a separate thing or if it'll be melded together and maybe big shows, or maybe they'll be separate and they'll have like a super show or something. Who knows? But I think it's a good way to kind of mix it up some. So
You know what I would love to see?
Yeah.
He's going to do that. Is a tricking tour.
Right. Well, there is that, but
I know.
there's some of that going on.
So is that
right
kind of
now.
like the trickers are like, why would we do your thing? Is that
Right.
kind of like that?
Yeah, it
like
is.
we got our thing. Why would
Right.
we entertain what you
Right.
guys are doing?
Right. Adrenaline's doing their own thing. They've been doing stuff like that for a while now. That's how they've been doing it. And so, I mean, I think a lot of them are working on things like that. There's also that group I was telling you about, the MA live battles, and they were doing tricking battles as well. But this was like, using Zoom for that. Like this week, it was the second week of their nunchuck battles. And so it's pretty cool on that one. There was some fun stuff and crazy stuff. So they do those on Sundays around 3:30 or 4. So the final battle would be this week. So again, there's a lot of different ideas, I think. But I think, man, it's exciting. They already announced. They haven't announced the full tour. I mean, the full card for the second one, but they've already announced the main event for the third one, for the Texas one, which is one that we talked about.
Dude, I spoke that one into existence. I'm going to take credit for it.
Yeah,
I'm taking credit for the Cam Dawson versus Chance Turner fight.
We talked about it on the show, right?
Boom.
Boom.
I think we did.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah,
and
we did.
So we just kind of mentioned some of the ones that we want to see and why. And,
right.
There you go, man. That's a good one. I'm interested in where these are at, what's going on.
Where they're at is really important. So the reason why where they're at is important because of who else could also be fighting if they do it in one building.
Right. Yeah. So,
but it also showed you, Jesse showed us that it doesn't have to be in one building.
No.
So I kind of like that.
No, that's big. That's exciting. That's that, again, like I said, WrestleMania 2, man. That was that kind of stuff. They had it 3 different places back in like '86. So
right.
You should be able to do
Oddly
that
enough,
now.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That's wild. Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay, so let's stay, since we talked about Virtual Fight Tour 3.
Yeah.
Is there anybody else on Virtual Fight Tour 3?
Not yet. All right, so who are some of the ones that you
That's
would like
what
to
I was
see?
thinking.
Yeah. I mentioned one today in our group chat. I think Chris Robinson needs to be on that. Needs to be on that show.
He should be on one.
Yep. I don't care who he fights, but I think he's going to bring – he's a pay-per-view type fighter, I think. You know what I mean?
I would love to see Willie Hicks and Chance Turner. Not Chance Turner, Chad Cannon.
Okay, Chad Cannon. Okay.
Cannon. Willie Hicks and Chad Cannon. I was thinking the same team. Fight. That's why I was thinking that.
Yeah.
No, I think that would be a great fight. I think that would be good.
They fought plenty of times. They've also They've also fought alongside each other a lot when they were, they were. So I mean, it's they were on GOP together back in the day and different things like that.
But how long ago was that though?
That was a long time ago.
Right. So I say there's probably guys. Never seen them fight each other. Never knew they were on a team. You know what I mean?
Right.
With each other, at least.
Outside of Texas and Houston, yes, because every weekend for a while they would fight, So, but yeah, I mean that's always a great one. I think there's other people though that they can get into Texas to fight, so that would be interesting. But yeah, I would love to see Willie fight, and I think that would be cool. People, there are certain fighters that people just want to watch and they have a following, and Willie's one of those guys. So
dude's exciting.
Yeah. Right.
I want to talk about. Well, do you have any ideas for Virtual Fight 2 or 3? I mean,
just for me, I want to see Chris fight, and I don't know who. I mean, there's a lot of heavyweights. There's some senior ones. I think it doesn't have to be in Texas. It could be from somewhere else.
Well, then we just start going to who do we want to see?
Right.
You know what I mean? And if we're trying to see, I think that's also the interesting thing. Are we trying to keep them like, all right, let's get these people from Northern California together. Let's get this matchup from Southern. But if Cam's originally, DC,
yes, right. Well, and Jack is going from Cali to to New
That's
Jersey.
the other part.
New
That's the other one I
Jersey.
want to talk about.
And then there's what's the new one? Anthony and
Oh, yeah, I
him
want
is
to talk
and
about
then
that one.
but also Yoksar and Java was announced today as well, or yesterday. Was that today?
That was today, I think.
Yeah. So, and then there was the junior fight that was just announced as well, the junior girls fight.
I didn't see that one.
Yeah. So there's
Now, was that on 3 or is that on
card
2?
Ooh, Nick Kane, that's a good one. Brian Young lives in Texas. Yeah, that would be good to see him and Chris. That'd be an interesting one. I would love to see that actually.
Chris is a lot bigger than him, though.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. Brian Young is very
Yeah.
experienced. Brian Young
Brian-
is
he's-
in NBA.
Brian's a
He's
good
a
fighter.
heavyweight, and Chris is a super heavyweight, so it wouldn't be that bad. I don't know.
Is Brian Young a heavyweight?
Brian was always a heavyweight in NBL, yeah. So maybe a light heavyweight in NASCAR.
Okay.
But I mean, he was always he fought in the last time that he fought Diamonds. He was in the same division as Cam. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, that would be a good one to see. I'm sure he may need some time though. I don't know if he's been training like that, but I know he always could.
Right. He's an athlete.
So yeah, for this type of thing, I would love to see Brian in that. Good call.
Let's talk about the main event of Fight Tour 2.
Yes.
Okay. So we got Bailey Murphy versus Jack Felton.
Correct.
Okay. So, and I kind of like, listen, let's just put this out there. It was for me. I don't know what it was for you. We both just happened to pick against Bailey.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
If you look at it now, like, dude, you're Dumbo. He had on fire 2019.
Fine. Yeah.
He was coming in hot in the first part of 2020, and you picked against him. Whatever, man. It was a coin flip. That's
honestly,
just what it went with.
It was one of those things. Hey, you know what? I think everyone's going to pick Bailey. Why not?
It
really was
exactly.
in a lot of ways.
Okay,
but
so we were proven wrong.
Yep,
Bailey was the man. Bailey was the man. Okay, but I kind of felt bad for him a little bit because he was like, all right, he was like, stop saying I'm not the man. I'm the present right now.
Right. Well, he is the present. Yeah.
And but the only thing that was keeping him from like it's not even close was beating Elijah.
Right.
But he didn't get the Elijah fight, and he can't get he can't get the Elijah fight right now.
Well, not yet, but I mean, again.
Right. So now it's like almost like, all right, give me the fight. Give me that fight that I could just show you I'm the guy. And he can't get it. And he gets Jack.
Right.
Now, Jack,
that's another fight though that he's always wanted though. We talked about this on our interview with him, and that's the one person he hasn't fought yet and he wants to. So, yeah, I mean it's important to him. But what are you saying?
Jack's a different animal.
Oh,
I don't know,
course.
man. I don't know how to pick this one. This is where it's like after you just watch. The part I feel bad is I was like, all right, you just proved me wrong.
Right, and then now
and I'm
I get
still
to pick
looking at your next fight, and I'm not sure.
Right, but you know what? That's fine. We can pick whatever we want. Some people are going to go for him. Some people are going to go for Jack. I don't think it's that he's like always an underdog. It's just Bailey's on a mission to go and just go after people that he feels he has to beat. That's his mission. So that's great. He's getting fights that other people have been wanting for years. So I don't feel sorry for him at all. He's doing what he wants to do. He's getting he's getting what he wants. Exactly.
That's true.
Why would he be upset? Gail just said, why would Bailey get so upset about you guys picking someone over him?
No, I guess I'm not even saying that he should be upset. I was just feeling like
feeling bad that you.
I felt bad that I picked against you.
Right, and you feel like
clearly proved me wrong.
Right,
and I'm looking at your next match, and I might not pick you this time. I might pick you. I don't know.
Right,
that's where I'm like, man, I don't know. I kind of feel bad. Yeah, but whatever. It's whatever.
It's a tough one to pick. It's a different thing too. I think if we look at Jack versus Bailey at a tournament after they fought all day, and then they just decided that they were they just found out that they were gonna fight, that would be completely different than this. And now they've known for a while.
Let's break it down a little.
Oh man,
let's talk about the fighters.
Right.
Let's talk about. Okay, so I will say, straight up speed, I would give it to Bailey.
Yep.
However, Jack has a way of taking your straight up speed away from you at times.
Yes.
The part that concerns me, it sounds silly to say, is that it's a 3-round match.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like for Jack's proven so there's been times, Jack, where you've been up and then you get over the last one.
Right.
When he was up on Elijah, a good amount. And
Correct.
Elijah used his speed and just went pow, pow, pow. Just took it right away, quick.
Right. But we're also telling someone who's a lot taller as well, too.
Now, that's the thing about Jack that it's amazing to me and I don't understand. So just using the back fist punch.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he blitzes. He uses the back fist punch. He doesn't punch first most times.
He trains it, but he doesn't really do it that often.
Right.
I mean, you barely see it, but he does it in a way. His footwork is different than most, right?
Correct.
And I'm not going to say what. I mean, it doesn't really. Most
That's
people
all right.
can see it, but
I can't replicate what he does.
Yeah, no, and
a lot of people aren't going to be able to.
I mean, instead of stepping away in his angles and doing and stepping and move, it's more of like a jump, kind of like and so he's able to get away from you very fast, and also get inside you very fast. So and without you really even knowing it, So
yes.
So it's and then he has a great defensive sidekick as well. So
great. Actually, I think his sliding sidekick.
Yeah, you're right.
Is actually the best.
Yeah.
Right? It's really freaking good. Because his upper body doesn't move.
Correct.
It doesn't move.
Good. No.
So it almost catches you off guard that he's kicking because his head doesn't change levels. Right. True martial artists aren't supposed to do that, right?
Right.
We get caught up in the match and we're bouncing and we're moving and then we just do those things.
Right.
He's very technical. He's very good.
Right. And it's the time and everything. I think where Bailey, sometimes, and we saw this in the Elijah fight, Jack hesitated, right? Hesitated several times.
The second round.
Yeah,
the second round. He hesitated.
And I think Bailey does a great job when people do that, which we saw what he did against Tyreek.
That's exactly it.
And
Tyreek had it going. We saw it visibly. He just kind of went in, froze for a second. It was game over. All right. So, but I think we keep mentioning all the stuff Jack does because we look at Bailey's an athletic freak of nature.
Right. Well, and here's the thing too. All right. Jack is at this point now where this is just what he does, right? Word. Bailey is he's not, like he's saying, he has something to prove. He is motivated. He is ready. He is going after it. So he's pumped up, and it's just like, hey,
Kale.
I'm gonna do it. So he has that whole extra kind of thing right now. So I think the mindset is going to be interesting. Who's going to be feeling like they have that pressure? Who's going to be like, this is what I do, and I got this. Hey, coach.
Gail was talking about Jack's defensive sidekick, how it's there.
Yep.
But he still catches you. The other thing about it is it makes you hesitate.
Yeah.
It makes you hesitate. That's right. All right. So when we kind of brought up who's going to come on next week is Ross Levine. I think his number one weapon is his defensive sidekick.
Yep.
I fought him a few times, and that is the thing that concerned me the most about him. This is that sidekick. Because the dude's got tree trunks for legs, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, they're humongous. So,
all right.
It's crazy.
So, who else? Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying, this is going to be a great fight. I think.
Oh, get your popcorn ready.
Yeah, I don't think we need to pick anybody right now.
Let's
wait a little bit.
Well, what is the date? Wait a second. What is the date?
September 26th. Yep.
Okay. All right, that's good.
Yep. Bryn Stewart said a good one too.
What's up, Coach?
Hey, Coach. And he was saying Jack's pedigree. Yeah, here we go. Jack's pedigree will hold a lot of weight here. Iceman under pressure, which is true, and that's what has been great. So these two are two of my favorite fighters to watch, and I've been wanting this fight for a long time. So I'm excited for it. So
but let's just wait. But before we get off of it, the winner of this fight, where do they go?
Okay, so I don't know. I mean, maybe it sets up for Bailey to eventually fight Elijah when things go on,
But wouldn't that be the same for Jack?
Maybe so. Maybe, but I don't know if he'll do that
mean?
in a set fight. I mean, maybe. Or maybe there's someone else he wants. There's all kinds of options with this. I
started thinking about – go ahead.
All right, one thing that you and I talked about, and I think this kind of goes with this one, even though in the other one we have another issue, and you have an issue you want to point.
Well, I'm going to bring it up.
But I think even Travis and Chris have talked about how there's only one fight for this person. This fight doesn't make the most sense, and this is the fight that everyone wants is this. Okay, but this is new. This is the second one, okay? If you are Jesse Ray, you are building a UFC. You can't put all the best fights in the first 2 shows and then what? You just killed off, if you say you have what? So there's 8 fighters, right? Then everyone's going against their best one. Who are you building up?
So then that's what we got to talk about.
We got to build these fighters up. So I don't care who Tyson fights, even if someone he beats a bunch. Other people besides us need to see him. There are sport martial arts that don't travel all over that don't get to see him. And maybe those karate schools and whatever else, this is a chance for them to see who this person is. Man, this kid's awesome. Let's see who he goes next. And you just keep building and building, and then you get him with him and Jason. I know us hardcores want to see this now, point. But why do it now? This is a long-term thing. This isn't a short-term thing that Jesse's building here. So
I thought, and you know what I thought about that? I thought about that same type of thing. Like when Ray hung up, the point fighting.
Right.
I don't know. I feel like that might have been a decision he made over the last couple months, and he said, you know what? I've been leaning this direction. I think this is this Irish Open in 2017. This is it. I got to focus everything on full contact.
Right.
And he was just kind of leaning in that direction. What I think would have been amazing is if he would have just said, okay, this is it, 2016 or whatever year he decides. He goes, I'm going to do a lot of dang tournaments.
Yeah.
And this is it. This is the last time your town will see me point fight in person.
Like a tour. Yeah,
right. Like an
actual
tour.
Like a farewell tour that several people. Yeah. That's true. It happens a lot in wrestling. They do that. They're like, all right, this is my last year. We're going around everywhere, and they'll go whichever place. You have people from Japan that usually just stay in Japan. They'll go tour all over. And they'll get, the
he'd be out like Prince. He'd be selling out arenas.
Correct.
Here we go.
Correct. Yep.
Line up for your autographs.
And
does that stuff anyway.
He doesn't even need to do the tournament. He just needs. That's where you could do a set fight.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I think the fact that he did the tournament was cool, and I think you would get I think it actually would be cooler if somebody decided like that's what I'm going to do, and win, lose or draw.
Right.
I won't win them all because nobody's. Well, Nasty did that, right? Yeah. Nobody's just decided, all right, I'm going to do them all. And, nobody has, it being their last year. Nobody's done that.
No.
This is it. This is my last year.
And I'm done. Out. Right.
Well, I don't know. Maybe did Nikki Carlson leave? Did she do that? Probably.
No, she lost one time before her last fight. And then her last fight was beating that person that beat her. So Tara Van Duzen. But yeah, I mean, so it's going to be exciting. The second fight, Anthony and
Brandon Balu.
Brendan is going to be awesome. And so
I like that fight because I think they fight similar.
Yeah.
Brandon's gotten a lot better. You know what? That's what I've loved a lot about Anthony is that I've always said like Anthony's a self-made guy. That guy, he built himself up to the point where you should know his name.
Yep.
Yep. Because I didn't know that he started as a middleweight. I always kind of thought he was like a light heavyweight. And like, I think he was a light middleweight. Chris was saying, he's like, no, I've been fighting this guy for like 10, 12 years in the light middleweight division. And I'm like, get the heck out of here. And he was like, we used to go back and forth. And I think that was a nice way of him saying that he used to beat him. And then, but it got to the point where it's like Anthony just steadily improved year after year after year to the point where it's just like, you will know my name.
Yeah.
And we do, right?
Yeah.
Now, he's got to be 30. There's no way he's not.
Yeah,
Right?
he's
got to be 30.
He's well
I would
over
say
30.
Brandon's probably 25. All right?
Yeah, because I remember when he may be younger, but no,
Maybe
he
he's
probably is.
24.
Because
He's
I
got to be
remember
24,
when he moved
25.
up to the adults, so maybe it was 2014, 2015 when that was going on. So
Right.
Yeah.
So, but that kid's got some bulldog to him, but he's all right. I like his kicking ability. When his kicking game is great and he's able to move his axe kick and his hook kick up high, he'll do well. The thing that makes this fight interesting for me is that Anthony switches his stance from time to time.
That's true.
He will go, and I don't know how this is. I've never seen the two fight each other.
Right.
I feel like if Brandon's kicking game is well and Anthony's got his right side in front, I think that will go well for Brandon.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if his kicking game is well and Anthony switches to his left, I think Anthony could pick him off. But who knows what's going to happen, right?
Right. I mean, we watched the Diamonds where we were like, oh, this is a bad idea for them to put
Brandon on Jason,
and he brought it back and almost won and went to overtime. So this dude, I think he has that killer instinct, and so I think it's just all going to come down to mental, which I think all of it does.
Right.
And so who's going to have the game plan, and then who's going to adjust well from each round. So excited to see this one as well. So I don't know. I mean, I like both of these fighters a lot.
Who else do we have on that one?
So El Java versus Yoksar. So this is going to be really cool. So this is another one where Florida is up in New York, or maybe it's the other way around. I don't know. Maybe they're going down to Georgia. I don't know.
Maybe Florida's wide open. They can go to Florida.
Right. So it's going to be pretty interesting how this one is.
Okay, so El Java Abdul Kadir versus Yoskar Gomez, right? Gonzalez.
I always say games or whatever. I don't
Yoskar.
know. Yeah, Yoksar.
It's not.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, it's not.
Me.
Yeah.
Not Venezuela.
Yeah.
All right.
Honestly, let's just say it. 2 of the top 30 plus fighters of the past 5 years, probably.
Java's in his 40s.
Right, but I'm just saying, like Java's been the number one of the number 1 30 plus fighters for a good while now.
Yep.
And like I had said before, he won my tournament, the senior grands at my tournament, 5 years in a row. And then he had done the same thing at other events and won the diamond and those types of things,
Yep.
So
and it wasn't like he won the diamond over
no,
Scrub or like me or something like that. Although I was close to it. He beat Jason freaking Borelli.
Right. Yeah, and he won the Waco gold, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this guy's on a tear. He's kind of turning into focusing more on the coaching part. With coaching
with Team Top 10.
Yeah, Top 10. And Yoksar for years was the best fighter in Venezuela history. He was the one that everyone said was the best. And, we always heard about him. And then over the past 3 or 4 years, he's been competing more and more and has won that 30-plus grands at
almost all the time.
Yeah, almost all the time. So it's going to be really interesting. I love watching both of these fighters. I think Yoksar is just a very savvy person, and I think you kind of look and you're kind of like, well, what does he do well? He wins, and I think that's what it is. He's able to find a way to win. I remember Java's kind of changed a lot. Like I remember for a while, it's like to me he had one of the hardest and best reverse punches. I remember when he was younger, and this dude has turned into just a really savvy fighter as well. So who knows, man?
I know.
All right, you go ahead. I know what you're
I know
say.
who's going to win. It's going to be Java by a good amount.
All right. Explain why.
I look at this as this is Java's fight to lose. I don't see.
No, I think the same way. I think it's Java's fight to lose. I don't see it as much as you do, though.
Listen, Yoskar is a good fighter. Okay? He's a really good fighter. I can't envision a scenario unless Java straight up beats himself or Java loses this fight.
So I've
I'm
seen
going
that
to put
happen.
it right
I've
up.
seen that happen
Of
a lot.
course I've
So,
seen it happen.
but for
That's
me,
why I prefaced it the way I prefaced it. But
Right.
okay, Java's going to win. If there's a spread, I think Java's got it. I think it's like that. All right? And I'm going to see, I don't want to start breaking it down and then give away what the guy
Yeah.
should do.
right. Don't, yeah,
But
no,
I already
understand.
broke it down earlier.
Yeah, you did.
I have a specific reason why. If somebody wants to debate this with me, and I'm okay with that,
Right.
I'll do that with you because I'm not pulling it out of nowhere, right? So, yeah, I think it's Java, and I think it's Java by a decent margin.
Yeah, I mean, I have Java.
Chime in, guys. Chime in.
I have,
if you want to say, Alex,
I have
crack. Go ahead.
I have Java as the favorite. I just think that I also see Java can get frustrated with calls. Java has gotten frustrated at different things before. And so I think Yoksar is the type of fighter to take advantage of things like that. But I think overall the best fighter to me, I think is the best. I don't want to put it all out there, but one of the best senior fighters, because it's different. Every year it gets, but to me over the past 5 to 10 years, I think Java's been one of the most consistent and best 30 plus, 40 plus fighters. So
he has a style of fighting.
Right.
It's not going to drop off.
Right. No, it's not.
It's going to go long term.
Exactly.
All right.
Ben just said he won't gas. He said he won't gas.
No.
Yeah,
I'm gonna dude's an athlete, and he's like chiseled, right?
Right.
So I'm gonna put myself out there. I have a style of fighting that does not have a long lifespan, right?
Right.
Unless you're Jason freaking Borelli, there's only one of them.
Yeah.
It does not last for you long term. Not a lot of them, all right?
Right.
However, Java, that could last as long as he wants it to. And he can still pull the kicks out of there because he's not wasting himself. He's not killing himself over the time.
Correct.
Now here I go. I'm doing exactly what I said I wouldn't do.
Yeah.
I'm putting it out there. But yeah.
All right. So and then also today they announced a junior girls fight. Emma Cullen versus, and I don't know the other girl's name. I think she's from Keith McKinley School. And so this is a good thing that we get some females and some juniors fighting. So it's going to be good. And I know Emma, I know that name pretty well. Emma Cullen, I know she's been successful in the juniors. She's part of Next Level, I believe. Good. And then Keith McKinley has a great group in Philadelphia. So
this is true.
Chris, I don't know. I know Chris is watching, but I can't remember if he knows who the girl is. I could pull it up, but right now we're just
we're a little occupied.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think that's really important to get not only juniors, but the ladies involved as well. We've been talking about it. We've been racking our brain.
Sabrine. Okay, Sabia Sabrine. But I know I have the camps and everything right. But
Sabia Sabrine. Okay.
All right.
But we've been talking about what?
Time out. All right. So the other day, let's see, CTE was happening, and I'm sorry, but this is just hilarious to me. There was the whole comment, and you even said something too about that's bad management and this camp and that camp. And I'm sitting there like, since when did sport karate have managers?
Oh, yeah.
And camps, All of a sudden, Jesse's put on one pay-per-view, and all of a sudden we're acting like we are boxing and MMA.
I will tell.
I got my fight camp here. I got my manager over here. No, you don't have your manager. That's your instructor. Okay?
Yeah. No, that's not necessary. Okay, but the people you let influence you.
Well, yes, I know, but we've never, ever called it manager. So we're trying to get to that point. Which is fine. We can get to that.
I'm the one who
never
said the
been
word
that
management.
No, there are a lot of people said that. Someone else said that's bad management.
That was me.
No, it was someone else too. I think Angel said it, and someone else said it as well throughout the thing. So it's just funny to me that we're saying that.
Here's what that was. That was from this week's CTE. Okay, so here's how. So
right.
Maybe there's something I don't know. Couldn't make the date. We had this very important thing that we had going on.
Right.
But I don't buy that, because if that was the case, if it was just like couldn't make something like that, then it's like, okay, work out a different date.
Right.
But no, and then what I mentioned was we don't really have any tournaments going.
Right.
You don't have a lot of opportunities to fight.
Correct.
This is a great opportunity to fight. It's a great opportunity for you as the fighter.
Right.
Well, why are you turning down? Now, if you're turning down, if your influencers or your peoples are turning down, are telling you to turn down an opportunity to fight, if it's just so that you can do our thing.
Right. Well, yeah.
I think that's bad management.
So there is we also have the Pro Point, which we'll need to talk about as well in the future, because that is in October. That's a great tournament. I mean, it's going to be awesome the way that's set up, and we'll have to break that down more. But yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how all this goes. I think this is really cool, and I think all of us are interested in how to be a part of it, how to support it. So it's a lot going on, man, right now. So that's been fun. One more thing that happened today, and this is another thing that's kind of on the same realm, or for these type of fighters to go into this, is Karate Combat just signed a new deal.
That's right.
Karate Combat just signed a new deal with BN Sports, which has become a pretty good group, and they are going to. I mean, they're going to be all over the place. Apparently, they're going to be having fights in different areas. Now, one thing they do, which is kind of cool, and I didn't realize this, but they had their fight kind of in that bowl kind of thing, right? And then they CGI kind of in the background, like different sceneries and stuff. Like they'll be like they're in the desert or something like that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So
I've seen some of the fights. They are pretty cool.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting how that goes. I know the first one or two had a lot of good reviews, and it seems like they are ready to do it. So they had. I know Kevin ended up fighting in that.
He fought one, but he fought a guy who was 25 pounds heavier.
Right. I know. I'm not saying about what he did or if he won or lost. I'm just saying he was in there, and I think it was a last minute type thing too. He wasn't supposed to be in there. And then you had Kevin. I can't say his full name, Kowalczyk or whatever. He's a sport marshal as well. WKC guy. Most of the time we know him for forms, but he does a lot of MMA and kickboxing and stuff. And so he had a good fight as well. Like he ended up losing a knockout, but he dropped the guy 2 times to get there. So it was a good fight. So I'm interested to see who kind of takes this realm. Who tries this out. Their slogan right now is like, we are trying to take something, an ancient art that has kind of gotten a bad name, to make it cool again. We're trying to make karate cool again, is what they're saying. So, so I like it. I mean, it's going to be interesting. They have the white. Everyone has the white karate gi pants with their belt, no shirt, and go at it.
What I love about that too is it's not just like, all right, it's another avenue, for people to go into other than just MMA. Or kickboxing. But I like what you said, where you say it's making karate cool again.
Yeah.
When I started taking karate, that's what I knew karate as.
Right.
Legit, promise you. The reason I started karate was the movie Karate Kid. Promise you. I did not see Karate Kid when Karate Kid came out.
Right.
When Karate Kid came out in 1984.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. I was watching a different movie.
Yeah.
There's a different movie that was pretty dang influential. Take a guess what that movie is.
Go.
Purple Rain.
Oh God.
I'm not even playing with you.
How old were you watching Purple Rain?
Homeboy, listen.
Hey, I'm just saying.
You can't live in Minnesota and not be into Prince. All right. I'm gonna give you an example. Okay, so I don't know if I ever mentioned this to you before, but my mom went to high school with him, right?
Right. You did, yeah.
Likely. Right. Me telling a story I've already told before. Yeah, that happens all the time.
Okay.
So where this wedding was at, that I was just telling you about, was like Mike. My God, yes. Right?
Who knew you two would agree on anything? That's crazy.
So where this wedding was at was just 3-4 blocks from Paisley Park, which is Prince's studio. So while I'm DJing, because I swear I'm not even kidding you, I took over. I was doing that, people were like, play some Prince. And I'm like, that's what I'm saying. So I played a couple of them. And so this guy, kid you not, this DJ, that was bad. And he goes, duh, what's a popular Prince song? And he goes, do you know any like really popular ones?
Oh
And
my
I'm like,
God.
really?
Really?
I wanted to be like, leave now, just leave. I got this.
Where did
Don't
they
even
find
pay
this
me.
guy
I got
from?
this.
I guess just like DJs aren't want to go out right now and
I
work
don't
during
know, man.
COVID
I
or
don't
something.
know.
They want
Listen to this. I stopped
Hey,
my
can
buddy.
we Zoom me myself DJing? So your wedding. Like, is that what they're doing?
So this guy, my buddy, after everything's done, and sure enough, it's me and my brother, the last people walking out of there. Right? So my buddy Justin just got married. Went to go tip the guy like $100, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
All right. First of all, he stunk. Second of all, if someone's getting tipped, it should be me. Whatever.
Oh man. All right. Yeah. So it's I don't even know where we went with it, but it's been
Let's
been a lot of fun.
Let's move on.
So this is what we're gonna do right now. We're gonna tell our competitors of the week, and then right after that, guys, we're gonna do a Q&A. So whatever questions you guys want to ask or whatever, maybe our opinion on things, maybe something about our history, maybe something that we've dealt with, something fun, something funny.
Anything.
It's a great time to ask. You can go ahead and start putting those in here as we share.
Ask us our favorite vacation destination, whatever you want.
Whatever, yeah. So we'll go ahead with our competitors of the week. I'll go ahead and start this time because I'm usually always second because I usually don't have one and I just kind of go with whatever.
Now you got one.
Yeah. So during this whole time, we talked about virtual tournaments and different things. And so I wanted to give a shout out, and I think I might have shouted him out during my tournament because he competed in my virtual tournament. But there's a kid named Kaleb Boyle, right? And he's from Canada. He just got featured in his local news for how he's done over this time, right? So he started, he's won several WKC championships, and he was going to do NASCAR this year and getting ready to go, right? Well, when this hit, he was just like, all right, what am I going to do? When everyone else kind of sat and waited, he just competed every freaking weekend in virtual tournaments. And this kid during this whole COVID time has won 70 gold medals during this time. And that was just what he wrote, what they said during this thing. So I'm pretty sure he won a couple more like this week at some tournaments or whatever. So he's competed well over 70 tournaments during this COVID time. So he's competed, in the Japanese style events, the open sport karate, the WKF one. He even shared a thing about how he competed against like an Iranian prince or something because they do these head to head, right? Some of them in the bracket system, so they go head to head against people. So
did he beat the Iranian prince? That's what I got to know right now.
I don't know, but so I mean, it's really cool that. And there's several kids. He's not the only one. There's a couple others that have done this during this time. But he's one that has taken his name that wasn't known and used this time. I didn't know who he was. And used this time to make it known. And now he's kind of in some ways kind of become like the virtual kid. But like he's competing all the time. And so when in reality he probably wouldn't, 90 competitions. Yeah. Drew just said he competed in 90 competitions. That's insane. And it's really exciting just that now from this thing where everyone was like, well, what am I going to do? And I have students, they're like, well, I'm just waiting for term school. I was like, dude, you should have been competing this whole time and getting your name out. And now you just took a year off and you want to build your name back up. This kid used this, him and his dad, did this together. They had a plan to make this thing,
they never stopped.
They never stopped. So kudos to him. He's a great traditional bow martial artist. Creative style, like without doing all the throw ups, like really creative strikes and things. So he did 2 or 3 on the same weekend. Because some were live, some were, and you can enter several events during a weekend. So that's what's cool about it, man. So if you really want to get out there and do it, there's no excuse. Get out there and do it. So,
Kaleb Boyle is he's laying out the blueprint
yeah,
for you.
he
All right, hand claps to you.
he made it to the finals of the Ironman for mine, and the way
Nice.
when he did the Ironman, he didn't take any breaks. He did his form. He took the bow, put the bow down, came back, started his traditional. Immediately ran back at it and did all three forms, and in under 5 minutes, all of them really long. And he said it took him 7 tries to get it under the time. And so he just went and went and went. So this kid, it has the intensity to, I think, in 2021, he's going to, just from this time, he's made a name for himself, right? So we will see how he does, in the other events. But I'm excited. I just think that it's a great proof for everyone that, guess what? Like, it's a great example, don't sit around and just wait, go after it, right? So kudos to him. He's my competitor of the week.
Nice. Hand claps to you, Kaleb.
Yeah, man.
All right, very good. Speaking of getting after it, my competitor of the week is someone that we talked about really the last couple weeks, which was one of Coach Conroy's fighters. This guy's name is none other than Ryan McGriff.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan McGriff, during his time of competing, I actually feel like his time when he was competing, it felt like it was kind of a brief time. But then
It
I
feels
started
like
thinking
it.
about it. But
I
I
know.
think it was like 7 years.
Yeah, it was.
Right? And I don't want to say 7 years of being like a top level fighter. I should say it like that. Right?
I think it's probably 5 years, but 7 years of being like active. Because he was probably 2002 right. or whatever it's up, but he really got known 2005.
I didn't know him then.
Yeah. I didn't either, but yeah, I'm just guessing. Yeah.
So, right, it's the same thing. So, Ryan McGriff from Dayton, Ohio.
Yes, Crazy Legs.
And that's exactly what it is. If he had a nickname, it would have been Crazy Legs. Right. That's what his nickname would have been. So, and we kind of mentioned before how, like, all right, here's where we go. Our Team NK had a strategy. We had 2 strategies. We do whatever BJ says, and if there's a great kicker, Alex fights him. We didn't have a We didn't really have coaching or a strategy other than that. Except for this one time, we're fighting this team called SWAT. We're at the Bluegrass Nationals, right? Didn't have no clue who this team was. We're gonna smoke them. That was our mindset. So I see that there's this kicker. I'm like, yo, Beach, I think I should take this guy. And he goes, I got him. All right, so I'll go up, I'll fight now, and you're going to anchor. Right? Because that's all Ryan did for his team. Ryan anchored. His team would be down by 12, and Ryan would score 15. Yeah. Right? So we were up. Greg Betlock and I got it up. We were up there. Like, I'm like, there's no way you're losing. Right? BJ was 230 pounds.
Good God.
Athletic muscle. Just athletic.
Yeah.
And Ryan McGriff is 130. Not exaggerating.
No.
5'10".
Yeah.
And we barely won that. We barely won. Right?
Dude, he was so good.
So Ryan had this kicking strategy. He didn't. And if you've never seen him, just YouTube him. YouTube the guy, because it's odd and amazing at the same time. Because his style is that he would just right leg in front kicker, just like a lot of other guys, right? Mm-hmm. His was different. He did the thing you should never do. Like any karate instructor says, don't ever do that. Ryan does it, and you can't stop it, right? He stands flat-footed. His left foot is flat-footed. He's got all of his weight just pinked back there. He doesn't even have his whole right foot on the ground.
On the ground,
got like his big toe, right? So you're like, I wonder what you're going to do, right? So judge would say go. Ryan actually was smart about this. He would step away from the line, like back further from the line. Yeah. It gave him more time to be kicking so that you couldn't check him, right? Although, since he's only 130 pounds, you couldn't really check his leg. It would like slip through your fingers. And when it would slip through your fingers, it'd smash you in the face, right?
Yeah.
I remember, speaking of his name, Greg Betlock, he was fighting Ryan McGriff in a super fight. Wow. And I'm like, bro, it's a super fight. You got this, right? Yeah. And it starts out with 2 kicks to the face. Ryan kicks Greg twice in the face because he was trying to check it. You can't check the guy's leg. You can't. So he kicked his way onto a whole bunch of great teams, fighting in finals. This guy was exciting.
Yeah.
I remember, I think it was the 2007 Diamonds, right?
Yeah.
He's fighting in the final fight for the ring. He's fighting Raymond Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no, that's not 2007 then.
I don't remember.
I forget.
Yeah.
They're fighting. Maybe it was a team fight final. All right, it's
Yeah.
something what it was, because he fought Alex Lane for the final for that one. Oh, it was a runoff. It was a runoff for that. The winner of that one was going to go fight Alex Lane for the final. That's what it was.
Okay.
All right. I got it straight now. Okay. So they're fighting, and then Ryan's just chasing him, right? And his leg is up, and he closes the gap so fast that Ray's spin, he wouldn't even attempt the spin the same way.
Right.
And if Ray would have landed one of those spin side kicks to Ryan's body, Ryan would no longer have a body. That's how freaking fast he was. He closed that gap so fast, even Ray wasn't spinning on him. And at one point, Ray tries to get some more distance because he was up a little bit, and he tries to jump up in the air and do his double thrust kick. Yeah. Ryan kicks through his double thrust kick and kicks Ray in the chest while he's in the air.
Wow.
How is this possible?
Yeah, that's crazy.
Right? That's Ryan McGriff. Ryan McGriff is everything you would say none of that stuff works. And Ryan makes it work.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Drew.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Definitely. Yeah. So, I mean,
great guy, too.
Like Coach Conroy said, they were almost never down when Ryan would always start, and he would just give them the lead. And so it was great. And, I mean, the last time I remember seeing him fight was actually like a set fight that him and Willie had in Vegas, which was a great fight. So that was a good
match.
One. Yeah,
Willie Hicks and Ryan McGriff would be good.
It was a good one. So, yeah, man. So, all right, guys. So this is a time now where we're just gonna, if we want to, ask us some questions about whatever you want to ask about. This is just Q&A time. Whatever you think you want to, know, get our opinions on stuff, what we think is going to happen soon. Maybe we haven't even talked about something. I mean, there's new things coming up. Oh,
I got one to start us off. I've got one for you.
All right, here's one. Okay.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. She just, here we go. Jeff, what was your first NASCAR tournament and what year was it? Okay, so my
Jeffopedia right here.
So my first NASCAR tournament was the 1990 U.S. Open. But actually, my first tournament was before there was NASCAR. So it was 1988 PKL. It was a PKL Nationals in Greensboro. So I actually was competing before there was NASCAR. So because NASCAR, I think, started the end of 88, 89 or something like that. So... Yeah, it was crazy, and I've shared that story before. I went and saw Seneca Luther and John Valera in the finals, and also saw this awesome, Freddy Krueger self-defense demo.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it was like a choreographed fight scene with Freddy Krueger attacking kids, and they all beat him up. Yeah, man, it was cool. And I ended up, those people were from Virginia as well, so find out years later. Yeah, so
okay,
pretty cool stuff. So so that was mine. 1990 Battle of Atlanta at Georgia Tech. It was at Georgia Tech.
I got one for you.
Oh, geez.
No, I'm just because I'm curious about this. So you've had a number of rivals for forms.
Mm-hmm.
Because your competition career is extended for so long, it doesn't end.
Right.
That's why you've had so many. I never heard of someone that you've really rivaled against for fighting.
Well, because I mean, I just
curious.
I didn't win like I should have. You know what I mean? Like let's be honest. I had the talent to do it, but like I said, part of it, and I don't want to make that excuse because I should have just worked harder on it. But again, like we talked about, for 10 years I didn't have a karate school, right? So for 10 years,
that's hard to do fight training without
right.
school.
So for 10 years,
you don't have a lot of training parties. You don't have training parties. You don't have school. You don't have none of that.
Right.
It's gonna be challenging.
So for 10 years, I went to tournaments without really training. I mean, for a while, I would try to go and train with Sean, and Gina was really just getting into it while this was happening. So It wasn't always. It was just kind of like me and some kids and Gina from time to time, but there wasn't really that many other people. So,
Right.
so for fighting, for me, I would actually say, because I really got into continuous, I would say 2 people.
That's kind of what I was thinking.
And that would be Leroy Tankson, because we battled several times on stage. And then
I was thinking that might be your answer, but I wasn't sure.
And then Shane Baker. Shane Baker and I had some awesome fights. We fought 3 times in continuous, and every time. So in NBL, it's the clickers, right? So it could be
for how many times you hit them, right?
Right, and the points. So every time we fought, it was a 1-point fight. So for continuous, that's crazy. That doesn't happen in continuous, you know? So 3 times we fought, every time was a 1.1. And actually one time we went to overtime. So that was intense. And he was really good at that time too. So it was fun. All right, let's see. Oh, how many
teams?
Oh,
I have not been on a lot. I pretty much I turned down a couple, but I don't want to make that sound like I had all these offers coming in from a bunch of places. I had a couple of them a few times. But I'd say I probably turned down different offers like 6 times.
Right.
But I really was only on NK, right, which is just your guys, right? Now that group of guys, it changed over the years, right? And then Alliance and Hayabusa, that was it.
Yeah.
That's all I've ever done.
Nice. So let's see. I mean, I'll cut out like my school teams. I'll cut out that, you know. So like I was on, you know, like my school karate team, and then mine now Grand Slam. But as far as my first one was a team called Freestyle, and it was by Mike Kelly, which is Mindy Kelly's dad, right? And who ended up having Pro Rank years later.
Rank. That was a good team.
But so it was Team Freestyle, and it wasn't a sponsored team though. So it was just kind of like putting up the best forms guys that didn't have anybody and trying to, you know, at that time.
But there's been a few teams like that.
Right.
You know?
And so that was the only forms team I was ever on. So it was like me, Kingston Ing, I think Daniel Spalding.
Oh, I remember this team.
Ones. Yeah. So there was that. And then it was Elite, CJB. So that would be 3. Then after CJB, I was on a team in North Carolina, Team MVKC. My friend Doug Armstrong sponsored me for a year. And then I was on Team Proper, and then nothing. And then Hayabusa. So, and then, you know, my team Grand Slam. So I guess that would be about 6 that were like sponsored, you know, or not school. Yeah. So, but again, that's like 32 years of competing. So, and I may even forget someone, but yeah.
I may even forget someone.
That one's pretty cool. All right, here we go. Jeff, who do you feel is the most underrated forms person? God, that's really hard. And Alex, who do you think is the most underrated fighter? Woo! All right, so for me,
most underrated fighter.
It's so hard especially for maybe, you know what? Let's not say of all time. Let's just say Let's just say right now. Let's just say right now. Most underrated forms person now. That's really hard. I think there's people that have won a lot but don't get the credit that they deserve. But maybe they haven't won in.
Or maybe is there someone who's like on the cusp of winning, and if they win, like if they find themselves in the finals and they put it together, people's heads would blow off. I don't know. Is there anybody like that?
I have a hard time saying that right now. I'm going to be honest. I don't always get to the divisions aren't shown like they were. Like we don't even know sometimes who wins this and that, you know, or the rankings of some of that. So it's hard to really tell who that is. I always liked. This is a tough one. Do you have a fighter yet?
Yeah, better yet, who's both of you guys is underrated fighter person?
Yeah. Man,
all right.
Is really tough.
Here's the thing. I have one. Best fighter, the most underrated right now, and it is. This guy's always underrated. Always underrated. Nobody talks about this guy. He's always overlooked, and it is important that we bring him up now.
Yeah.
John Curtillo.
Oh, yes, that's so right. Yeah, he is.
John Curtillo
I agree.
is the most underrated. And you know why? Because John Curtillo and I have opposite personalities. You're not going to see John Curtillo jumping up and down saying anything. John Curtillo, the reason why it's important we bring up John Curtillo, congratulations. Just had a baby boy.
Yes.
His wife or girlfriend brought a baby boy into the world. Atlas Roman Curtillo. I think that's correct, right?
Right.
So congratulations. Welcome to the world, baby Atlas. So I think John Curtillo is the most underrated guy. Now, that's a little loaded. So there's two. I kind of have one and then the other. So it would be John. And then this one sounds silly. But I think it's also Justin Ortiz. All right? Yeah. Because Justin Ortiz, for the same reason, I think people just kind of overlooked him because he's just not fighting actively all the time.
Right. That's true.
But we have a way of doing that where, like, if we don't see you for 2 months, you don't exist.
Right.
So that's why what we do is so important.
Correct. Man, so this is a tough one for me. I have a hard time with who is right now. I actually think some of the most underrated competitors right now are actually 30-plus forms competitors because a lot of times they are not like, let's see, they're put in a separate area, right? But overall, I'd rather watch their forms than some of the others. I'm just going to be honest. And when it comes to extreme or creative. So it's hard to say, but there's so many good ones. But I still think that Mike Welch is actually, and some people may say,
I knew you were going to say it.
Say like overrated. Some people say that because we talk about him a lot, but in the grand scheme of things, he is one of the most underrated competitors for not winning the 18-plus grands, but his forms are just so clean, dynamic. So I would say him, and then another one in the grand scheme of things that doesn't get talked about enough to me is Darrell Lewis. Darrell Lewis, which is another clean one, just consistent, did things that people weren't doing before with the raises and things. And so, looking forward to seeing him grow as well. So I think there's so many. Yeah, Edgar is one. That's another one I'm going to say. I mean, there's Edgar. There's some tournaments where Ramel wins the 18-plus Japanese and also wins the 30. I mean, I just think the 30-plus competitors, man, I mean, all of us can go, and we're not stopping. So Edgar is one of those. Bear Lobe is one of those. So Corky Sykes is still out there killing it. So, yeah, man.
Edgar Cordova.
Yeah. Yep. All
that's
these guys.
That's what Chris just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right, too.
So I think, and Justin Ortiz is underrated as a forms guard, which I mentioned several times.
Because he was on my team.
I know, and I told
fantasy
you to do
team.
Was there another one? Oh, they just said, what about – oh, yes. Yeah, and Mama Walker, yes. Chris and I competed together back in the day, and yes, and we fought along with Kalman as well. Kalman Choka was a really good fighter.
Really good fighter.
Yeah, I always had a hard time with Kalman.
I watched the division. Remember when the backhand ridge hand was super popular, like the over-the-top backhand ridge hand? There's always a few moves, not just in fighting, but in forms too, that are just super popular to do. All right. You're not going to the Battle of Atlanta? We're going to talk about that quickly. But.
I'm not. I do want to really bad. But
anyway, I'll wrap this one up. So Kalman, I watched the division. I think it was like a year younger, older, or shorter. Maybe he was like in the shorter division, and my brother was in the taller.
Yeah.
And I watched it, and I knew Kalman, so I'm like, all right, let me see what this guy does. No, he just backhand, ridge hand, everybody. Mm-hmm. That's all he did. It's just like kabam, kabam. Yep. And it takes some guts to do that to everyone.
And he had some power. I mean, he hit me hard with one before, man.
You know who he reminded me of when I was watching him fighting? Butch Marks.
Yeah, in several ways. And a lot of us, because all of us were around the same age, and we were all hanging out, and we were just talking about, hey, wouldn't it be funny if you did this? Wouldn't it be funny if you did that?
Dude. And I think Butch was the king of that. He was like the ringleader of that.
Yeah. So, Butch, let's see.
There's an underrated forms competitor.
Yes, and I think he's one I usually mention. So he's in the 11-12 ring. We're in like the 10 and under ring and the 9 to 10 ring, whatever. And
All right, I like where this is going.
He's fighting, and I'm about to go and do my form. So I bow in to go do my form, and all I see is a headgear flying into the middle, and I'm like, all right, let me stop. And I look, I'm like, Butch just grabbed some kid's headgear and threw it in my ring. And that's what he did. He grabbed the kid, he punched him, grabbed his headgear, took it off, and threw it in another ring. He was like, yeah.
Butch should be in the WWE.
Yes, yeah.
Butch should be in the WWE.
That was, well,
beef up and get there, Butch.
Him and Anthony were trying to do that. Anthony Atkins were trying to do that years ago. But yeah, it would have been awesome.
They got to get connected with Arya.
It would have been
Arya,
awesome.
If they would have been listening, maybe he could have connected him.
Yes, yeah. And Marcel Jones was a great fighter. And I fought Marcel a lot, actually, when we were growing up. So we fought a lot. Where were we going from there? Oh,
well,
yeah.
we were gonna. If there was no more questions, we were gonna jump. No,
I was gonna share my my underrated fighter. To me, it's Russ Taylor is my underrated fighter as far as what I think in the grand scheme of things as a lightweight from like 98 to 2004. I mean, this dude won his division more than most people. You know, like when he showed up, he maybe lost 2 or 3 times ever, and he was similar to Jack too, and like the way he threw that sliding side kick was one of my favorites, and his reverse punch. Both were so fast, and he didn't have to do a bunch, and he would beat people, and he was one of the best lightweight fighters of that time, I thought. So, but yeah.
So there's a big tournament, the Battle of Atlanta.
Yes.
I have no clue what the heck is going to happen.
I don't either, man. I mean,
I don't even know who's going to be there.
I don't either. So here's the deal: the winners of each lightweight division, they are going to qualify for a wild card spot for the Pro Point event. So
are they only doing lightweights for this thing?
It's just a lightweight.
But they're doing lightweights and Chad Cannon and Ryan George. That doesn't make sense.
They're on the I don't know.
No, Ryan George is a straight up middleweight.
So what's above? Is welter above middleweight or under? Under. Okay, so then it's middle and light. Like, so that's the way they're doing it, right?
Middleweight's 180.
All right,
180.
So it's under that. So I don't know. So maybe I don't know what they're doing. But anyways, that's
light heavyweight is 190 to 199.
That's the whole thing.
Middleweight is the 180s.
True. All right. And
you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I get it, but I don't know. Anyway, so those two are there. But the way they're doing it, those 4 winners of those 4 divisions are wild card spots. Okay, so and then whoever won the grand, or maybe that lightweight grand at the Mayan Challenge is getting a spot. And then they had Trent Spence and I think his name is Tobias. They had another. So those are all the wild card spots.
And then Christian.
Yeah, but he actually has a spot. He's in the top 8 or whatever.
But what I was going to say about him is he's like a light middleweight also.
Right. You're right. Okay, yeah. He said he's in the 170s. So what is that?
Middleweight. That's light middle.
All right, so it's 170 something and under, not 180.
But it can't be.
Yeah. Well, what do you mean it can't be?
Because Ryan's a middleweight.
Well, I don't know. Maybe he's lost weight over this COVID time. I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Maybe it's like a wrestling cruiserweight tournament. I don't know. All right, let me be honest. If you don't know, depending on the time, cruiserweight would be 220 and under. Cruiserweight would be 205 and under. Or they would just say this guy weighs under 205, but really he's 240. But hey, whatever. Yeah, they probably do that. I mean, it would be like, they would say that Andre the Giant weighed like 500 pounds and was 7'6", when really he was maybe 7 foot. And then, he was that big at sometimes. But they would kind of, mess up.
His arm would be like my couch.
Chris says Ryan is the 170s also, though.
He is?
Hey, I think so.
Then I'm messing up then. I would trust Chris over me on that one then.
Because Ryan was light. No, yeah, he was light middle. He was light middle in NBL at one point, and that was 160s. And then he was also middle, which was under 170.
He and Kevin, no. I was wrong. he and Kevin in Chicago, which was earlier this year, so the only time I've really seen him weigh in.
Were welter, right?
They fought light middle.
Oh, okay.
They fought in the 170s.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right.
All right.
Yeah. All right.
All right, then. We got that figured out now.
So the pro point thing. So basically the Battle of Atlanta is kind of a build up to the pro point.
Yeah, I think that could help in some ways. I don't know. I think they're going to have a good regional event. I think there's a lot of people that are interested in fighting. There was a tournament 2 weeks ago in South Carolina. Brian Pena had a tournament. Honestly, I heard great things as far as the turnout was good. I saw some crazy videos of Justice Floyd jump spin back kicking someone in the face and knocking them out or dropping them. So that was cool. So hopefully he will go and fight some of those. I just think that there's people that are ready to do it and ready to fight. And so we'll see what happens.
Good. Yeah, I'm excited. I don't really have anything to say. I hope that we see some of the women fighting, and there's something exciting about that. I really, really want that. I've been saying for this virtual fight tour, I'm like, hey, have Katana and Gina fight. They're the ones that need to fight.
You didn't say that. I said that.
We both have been saying that.
All right. We'll agree. We'll agree.
Having Kayla Mejia, I'd love to see her fight. I'd love to see some more. I'd love to see Faith. I'd love to see them all.
Yeah. Chris and I were both talking about how that one would be good. Her and Paola would be a great fight in Mexico.
Yeah, that's right.
And they could even have, I don't know if they're allowed to travel or not, but with Guatemala, but there's a lot of good fighters down there that they could do. Even having what's his name? Is it Oscar? No. Who's the one that fought in AKA and beat Jack?
Yoskar?
Not Yoskar. He's on Legend. But he's from Guatemala. What am I forgetting? Why can't I think of his name right now?
All right. Anyways, I'm not remembering either, but all right.
So he was one of the ones that was runner up, and then he ended up fighting Jack, and then ended up beating Jack.
Oh yes.
Yeah. And so he could fight someone like a Colocho or an Andres or someone down there in Guatemala, and that would be a good kind of battle to see. There's a lot of different ones down there that could fight in different areas, and I hope that Jesse kind of is able to work that out as well. So,
dude, I'm telling you, take my money for virtual fight tour 2, 3, 4, and 5. Take it. I'm
in to do whatever with the virtual forms tour as well. Compete, commentate, whatever. Let's do. Yes, Hector. Yeah, we need to see Hector Solori fighting as well. The problem with
is he in Mexico? He's in Mexico, right?
Yeah, he's in Mexico. The problem with Mexico is most of the top fighters are in that Mexico City area, and they've all fought each other. But we haven't always seen it, right? So it's interesting to see how that would go. I think
it's gonna have to be.
Actually, I think that would be good. I think like a Colocho versus Hector fight would be good in Guatemala and Mexico, because that's a rivalry, man. If they can get that to work,
but
then be good.
You see, if we're doing that, then it's like, why can't we see?
They do, but
Totally versus Roman. You know what I mean?
Well, all the rules are different continents and stuff, man. So who knows? We can.
That's fine. We're just watching it anyway. We get a chance to watch.
Right.
Let it be all European.
That's a good one too, Chris. Yeah, Hector and Zayn. That would be good.
Oh,
that's a great fight.
Great idea.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Zayn is in Georgia, isn't he?
No, he's not. He's in Mexico.
I thought he was.
No, he moved back a while ago, I thought.
He moved back. Oh, okay. He was though. I'm not crazy though, right?
No. You're right. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean there's lots of options with this. It's exciting. Before we finish up, who do you want to see virtual forms battle?
Mike Welch.
Idea? And who?
Ooh. You know what I want to see? Actually, I take that back. Here's what I want to see.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see a couple of things.
Okay.
I want to see Joey Castro and Angel Torres. I want to see that.
Who? Oh, you mean
Virtual forms.
Ariel Torres.
Isn't that what I just said?
No, you said Angel.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Ariel. I'm sorry. All right.
Yeah.
All right.
But like
Joey Castro.
like three
and Ariel
forms,
Torres,
three
yeah.
different forms.
That would be fun. Something.
Okay.
So, we should almost have a rule like it's got to be something we've never seen.
Actually, no. This is what I want to see. Two forms, and I want to see them fight because I love watching Joey Castro fight traditional kumite. Traditional kumite. Make it happen. No, don't you? You've never seen
that.
them?
Would be no. I understand what you're talking about. That would be exciting.
Yeah.
Would Ariel do that?
Why not?
I don't know.
Why not? I think that would be cool.
But I don't know if that's what he does. You know what I mean?
Drew said him and Mike Welch. That would be cool. And yeah, Chris mentioned before Rashad and Dalton. That would be a good one. I want somebody. I want a lot.
I'm trying to think. Yeah. I got it.
Listen.
No, I got it for you. All right, you versus Chloe Bruce.
Funny.
Chloe's okay at kicking. I just don't prefer it over much.
That's funny. Yeah, I would like that too, Chris. That'd be cool as well. Yep. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options with that, and it's exciting.
I'd like to see Tyler Weaver back.
Yeah,
that would be fun and exciting.
I want to actually see Vince Scarduzio back.
Vinny. So. Ooh, good idea.
Yep.
That would be fun. Okay. Hey, maybe some of these guys just decide, hey, dust the stuff off.
And actually, I like to see
do your pattern a little bit. Do the Battle of Atlanta.
I like to see Tim and Tyler versus each other. Tim Conkle and Tyler Weaver versus each other. That would be a fun one. So as well. So one is a underrated innovator in combos, and I don't think Tim gets the credit he deserves in a lot of that. Yeah. So we'd love to see that. So, but yeah, man. So it'd be cool.
All right.
All right, guys.
Thank you for everybody who participated in the Q&A. Love that. That was a lot of fun. So do that. Don't forget to subscribe and all of our martial arts internet work podcast platform here with the Martial Arts Internet Network. This has been another episode of Inside Scoop with Alex and Jeff. I'm Alex Dingman.
I'm Jeff Doss. See you guys next week, and tune in tomorrow for the main gang, guys. Peace. 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 Peace.